Hey guys, Flix here. About to go see The Lion King, the live action remake of that. I'm not going to talk huge about my previous thoughts on this because I have a pretty decent feeling there's going to be a long rant at the end of it all. But I've actively stayed away from most of the Disney live action remakes. I don't like the premise of it. It's, I never saw Aladdin. I kind of wanted to because that was one of the few ones where, Robin Williams made that movie. Maybe Will Smith would make the next one. But I never ended up seeing it. Didn't see Maleficent, didn't see Cinderella. I'm sure there's at least one of them I've seen at least part of the way through. But it just never struck me as a thing I really wanted to watch. So I decided that for this one, it's kind of hopefully going to be the only one I watch, and it's going to encapsulate my thoughts on the entirety of Disney's live action remakes. It's the premiere day still, going to go see it. I talked to the guys at C+, and they really wanted me to see this, and it just kind of makes me think of that person that smells something really terrible and tells the next person to smell it. So I'll talk to you guys after the movie. Wish me luck. Hey guys, it's Flix. I just got out of the movie. The credits are still rolling in there, and the things that disappointed me most about this movie, one is the fact that this movie is made. Two, Jon Favreau is the director. I did not know that till the credits started to roll, and I feel really bad for someone in that position. But I'm just gonna do a normal, just a full-on movie review, because this movie, if you've seen the original, there's no way to spoil this, because this is literally pretty much a shot-for-shot remake. There's stuff added, and when I say stuff, I mean, if you wonder, when Nala left to go find Simba, how she got out of the Pride Lands, those things that you kind of could just assume watching the original, but they didn't tell you. They did that in this. But this movie was horrible. This movie, the original one, the voice cast is so iconic in those roles that you put these other people in them and it doesn't ring right. And honestly, out of movies that have had voice actors, this is some of the worst I've ever heard in a movie. And it's because you're putting these realistic animals and giving them voices. No offense to the man, John Oliver is fine, he's really funny typically, but him playing Zazu makes no sense in this movie, as far as he can't emote right. Everything that John Oliver says sounds like it's being read, and that's true for almost everybody. Something that kind of pisses me off is that, I knew this before I watched the movie, but it's that James Earl Jones is playing Mufasa again. They use so many similar lines that they might as well have just taken the original, because in this one, it's sad to hear him talk, because he sounds so old now. I love the original. And I'm not going to say this ruined my childhood, because these are two totally different things. But anyone that's deciding to go watch these movies, you should just show your kids the original. They're not doing enough, this one is not doing enough different to make it worth seeing. If you want to see it, that's fine. But it's just not, you're not going to get surprised. There's not going to be any new things. And the funny thing is 1995 this came out. The voice acting, so much better in that one. You get used to the people who played the roles playing the roles. And, the best voice actor in it that is probably Donald Glover. I think that's right. I always get him and Danny Glover. I think it's Donald Glover. But Donald Glover, he's fine when he's playing adult Simba. And the kid who plays him, I haven't actually looked up who it is, but the kid did fine. The kid acted like he was trying. He was trying to do the role well. Everyone else, it seemed so much like they were just reading a script. And that's what they're doing, but at the same time, the point of being a voice actor is not to do that. And the face animations on them, like, you see them talk, you physically see their mouths moving, but their faces show no emotion. So, like, the animated one is so much better in that regard. You see what they're feeling. But even, and in this one's even stupider, because when they're all around, when all the lionesses are together, you can't tell them apart. Like, Nala, there are 3 times in the movie I'm just like, is that supposed to be Sarabi or Nala? And, I figured it out eventually when they started speaking. But just looking at them side by side, especially at the end when it's raining, you're like, who the hell is who? And then the same thing sort of with the hyenas. They did a lot better job of distinguishing the hyenas' looks from each other, so you knew which was which. And the hyenas were probably the highlight of the movie, honestly. And it's just because they did not copy line for line what the original counterparts did. And for real, I'd say 80 to 85% of this movie you could quote line for line already. Never having seen it before. They'll change a line here and there and every once in a while. But as far as this movie goes, you could probably line for line quote it. And all of the stuff, this movie's 2 hours long. The original wasn't that long. The things they added were like nature shots. The scene where Simba loses a little tuft of fur and Rafiki finds it. They don't, like, in the movie, it's just, or in the animated movie, in the good one, it just, and then next thing you see, like, it's flying through, he catches it and he figures out what it is. This one, they go through this entire endeavor of where it's flying from here to there to there to there, and it's just wasting time. Like, every single shot that was not in the original was just wasting time. And it's pretty much like they were given a storyboard for the original one, and they went, okay, well, this is all the stuff they took out. Let's add it back in. Except for one part I really feel like they should have put in. Like, they have Brandy playing, or not Brandy, Beyonce. That's funny. They have Beyonce playing Nala. And there is never a song that she's singing on her own as Nala. Where, if you know much about The Lion King, there's a song called Shadowland, which is her singing about, the Pride Land being in such dire situation. They could have added that in this movie. But instead, they have her sing some song as Simba's running from where, like, the paradise he is with Pumbaa and Timon back to the Pride Lands. He meets Nala in the middle. They have her singing this song that's just so not fitting for the situation. Like, I swear this movie just doesn't need to exist. And this is what I was saying before. The Disney live action movies are a cash grab. And like I said earlier, Aladdin is the one I might have wanted to see. And that's because Robin Williams was the light of that movie, Will Smith became the light of this movie. The Lion King, it has no, like, it had Matthew Broderick in the original one, and he was fine. He was okay. Honestly, if you just cut out all of his lines and put Donald Glover's voice over for the rest of the movie, it would have been good. But instead, they're trying to make this photorealistic crap, and they're changing actors everywhere, and it suddenly just, it feels like one of those movies that Disney made a long time ago, and someone's trying to remake it, but in a cost-effective crap way. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure this movie was expensive to make, but the animation was better in the original as far as facial expressions. The voice acting was better in the original. The songs were better in the original. And if you're just like, well, judge it by its own merits, it calls itself The Lion King, and it's almost a shot-for-shot remake of the original. So don't tell me that I can't compare it to the original, because that's what they're doing this entire time, and they are failing miserably. They need to stop making these movies, and it's like, even in the trailers for it, there were 2 original ideas of a trailer, and even those kind of come off of other things, but there were only 2 movies that were not sequels or remakes in the trailers for this movie. And I was like, The hell is going on with this? Like someone told me that Hollywood has ran out of ideas. There's no better time to be a writer in Hollywood because all you have to do is take something that was made before and you make it again. So I get that's how they're making money, but it's still crap. And I was kind of wondering why I haven't watched that many movies recently, and I'm kind of watching this see why I haven't watched anything new. And don't get me wrong, there's ideas from, even great movies like Endgame or parts of Spider-Man Far From Home that take from other things. Don't get me wrong, I understand that nothing is completely original anymore. But when you're literally taking a movie, giving it the exact same title, have the exact same opening sequence, you can go suck a dick. Because that is a waste of my time. I just spent 2 hours in that movie theater, and the best thing I got out of it is that there's a John Cena movie called Playing with Fire that I'm kind of interested in seeing. All the other movies can go fuck off. Mulan, Angry Birds 2, these movies may be good, but they've stopped being original. I might come back with more things later. I'm gonna sit on it for a little bit. Just think about it. I'm real pissed right now, honestly. I didn't want to do this necessarily, but I knew that this was something that I eventually needed to bite the bullet and watch a Disney live action remake movie. I loved The Lion King growing up. That was one of my go-to movies as a kid of, oh my gosh, I love this so much. But you don't have Jeremy Irons playing Scar in the new one, where Jeremy Irons' Scar was amazing. The song Be Prepared gets fucked over. They make so much more of a point on, I think it's Shiza's her name, the female hyena that was Whoopi Goldberg in the original one. They make such a big deal about how she's the leader of the hyenas, and then Scar just comes in and offers them stuff. And I'm like, the original movie had him already working with him. They knew Simba and Nala were coming to the elephant graveyard, and Scar was their buddy, But no, now Shiza's the one in charge, and oh my gosh, Scar showed up. We thought it was Mufasa for a second, and this movie is just crap. This movie is a waste of time, and it has honestly tied Rogue One and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Crimes of Grindelwald as movies that I give a 0. This is a 0 out of 10. If you want to go see this, go waste your money. If you want to see something better, get the original. Disney is re-releasing all of their crap all the time just through that stupid vault thing they were doing, and now they've taken it a step further and are remaking it. So if you want to waste your money, you're more than welcome to go do that. But this is the last Disney live-action remake I'm going to watch. Or at least pay money for. I might watch some if somebody else owns them and lets me borrow them, just so I can rip on them more, because I hated the time I spent watching the movie. I feel like now is a nice time just to let go of my anger, because this is a fucking waste of time. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry if I got a little real there, but be sure to like and subscribe, and talk to you guys later.